I am Hieda Reijiro, a former professor of archaeology with unpopular theories on Japanese myths. After encountering a strange world beneath an ancient burial mound and surviving the creatures from that world, I have become involved with multiple cases of strange, often dangerous entities existing among us on the fringes of human society. Whether these entities are gods, devils, or something else altogether remains to be seen. The only truth I do know is that the ancient legends, local folklore, and rumors of Japan's past are not merely stories. I am the Yokai Hunter. The village of Sumeri had many tales about the Ubume. So-and-so's wife became an Ubume. So-and-so saw an Ubume near a bridge. And for whatever reason, many of these stories somehow involve the Takabe family, one of the old families of Sumeri. One off-whispered story says that Shoemon, founder of the Takabe family, killed a traveling rokubu, or pilgrim, stole his gold, and made his wealth from it. This placed a curse upon his household that all daughters and wives of the Takabe family would become Ubume after they died. Others say the opposite, that he was blessed for helping an Ubume. There was even a shrine dedicated to the Ubume on the mountain behind the Takabe house. The Ubume is said to be a woman who died in childbirth and became a yokai. Some stories say she appears to suckle infants. Others say that the Ubume appears near a bridge and puts a baby in their arms, which becomes heavier and heavier and eventually haunts them to death.
No, I already have plans for New Year's.
Mayuko, Shoemon says it'll be just this once.
But why me? I'm not even from a branch of the Takabe family.
There are no eligible ladies in the main line or branches of the Takabe family left. In fact, there are hardly any young women in the village itself these days.
Fine, just this once. But in return, don't bring up any proposals from the Takabe family again.
I understand if you have someone else in mind. I'm sure he'll accept it.
Takabe. I can't believe this. I always hated the Takabe family. Maybe it's because I heard so many scary stories of the Ubume.
Now be a good girl, or the Takabe's Ubume will come for you.
My grandma would always scare me with that. And whenever she did, she would always look out at the mountain behind the Takabe house.
Your mother told me that you've agreed to be the medium.
Just this once. I'm not even from the Takabe family.
I understand. It's just we haven't had any girls who can be the medium ever since Takao's daughter Michi got married. But if you'll accept, then we can perform an official kamudoi for the first time in 7 years.
Sorry, I can't go skiing anymore. Huh? I told you, I've been forced to fill in as the Takabe's medium. Ditch it? I would if I could, but I have no choice. My parents are so old-fashioned. It's still hard to resist the Takabe family around here. But anyway, I can't go back to Tokyo for another 2 weeks. You're going home soon too, Aren't you, Sano? The Kamudoi was originally a private festival of the Takabe family, but it came to be an important ritual for Sumeri village. But that said, the Takabes were always the only real participants in the festival. It must be an exception for the festival to center around someone like me, who's not even from a branch of the Takabe family. I don't know what this giant hermitage is used for most of the time. All I know is that I have to spend about 10 days alone in this giant mansion. I find my meals prepared at the step in the entryway. At least I don't have to make food myself. I was told that I was not to see or speak to anyone, unless there was a special ritual. Of course, I wasn't told about any rituals. I can't sleep. When I was a girl, my grandma would always sing me a lullaby at times like these.
Go to sleep, sleep and the mocha will come from the mountains. Cry and the Ubume
That's
will
Grandma's
come
lullaby.
from the mountains. Cry and the Ubume will come from the mountains. Go to sleep, go to sleep.
There's a well around the backside of the house. I'm supposed to perform ablutions with this water every morning. You gotta be kidding me. There's a back door next to it, and just like the front door, it has a snow shed outside of it. Of course, I was told not to go inside the snow shed. This is a pretty long snow shed. How far back does it go? It's the lullaby again.
Away.
This isn't a dream. Is it coming from inside the house? I always heard that lullaby when I was a girl. That if I cried, the Ubume would come from the mountains. That wasn't a dream, and I wasn't just hearing things. Who's there? I know I felt someone watching me. Somebody was peeping in from this snow shed.
The heirs of the Takabe family have taken on the name Shoemon for generations. They used to be wealthy farmers back in the day, and everything up to Shimokawa was their land up until the agrarian reform. They say they've been reduced to poverty since the war, but they still own a rather sizable plot of forest.
And are you from Sumeri too?
No, Mayuko's from Sumeri, but I'm from Shimokawa. We went to the same university in Tokyo, and that's where we got closer. I never thought that Mayuko would have to be the medium.
Medium?
The medium for Kamudoi. She has to live in a hermitage for the entirety of the festival. It has to be a young, unmarried woman. The custom goes that if there are no eligible girls in the Takabe family, they pick a medium from the branch families. What? She's already gone into the hermitage?
From what I hear, she went in 2 days ago. Can't we go and see it partway through? Afraid not.
No one but the Takabe are allowed to see the Kamidori ritual.
Well, we could at least go to the village. How far to Sumeri?
Well, it's just down the road, but you can't get there today. The roads are all snowed out now.
Oof, don't they have a snowplow here?
The Takabes keep the snowplow from running on purpose. They want to keep outsiders away from the village during Kamidori.
I'll walk there, Father.
Now, you just got here. Wait till tomorrow.
As the one who will perform the Kamidori ritual for the Takabe family, I will now tell you the tale of Kamidori's origins. Long, long ago, the god Otoshi was stranded on his journey and walked in search of a place to stay the night. He went to the village of Shimokawa, but they refused him. He went to the village of Omori, but they refused him. He went to the village of Samui and asked for refuge at the house of Takabe. Shoemon, the founder of the house of Takabe, offered his hospitality to the god Otoshi. Otoshi was most pleased and blessed the house of Takabe with abundant crops and prosperity for generations to come, before returning to the land of Tokyo. At this, Kinu, the daughter of the house of Takabe, went into labor and gave birth to a babe that shone like a jewel, which was worshipped as a god. This tale is passed down among the house of Takabe as the origin of Kamidori.
Ah! What are you doing? Stop! Ah! I can't breathe! Stop! Don't touch me there!
What kind of ritual is Kamidori? I heard it worships the household god of the Takabe family.
Only the Takabe know the full details. But a young girl spends 10 days cooped up inside the Takabe's separate house. They say that the god descends upon her and possesses her.
I see. So Kamidori means visit of the gods. There are many regions which practice rituals to welcome a visiting god. Is there any particular reason that the Takabe family has one of their very own?
Now, no doubt the Takabe family has their own version, but this is how they tell it here in Shimokawa. Long, long ago, a traveling rokubu came to Sumeri and asked the house of Takabe for a place to stay for the night. Takabe Shoemon saw that the rokubu was rich, and he gave in to temptation and killed the rokubu. He built his family fortune on the money he stole from him. But Shoemon's daughter, who was with child at the time, mind you, died after childbirth and became an Ubume. They say it was the curse of the rokubu, but the next 3 generations, the daughters and wives of the Takabe family died and became Ubume. So they began worshipping the murdered rokubu and the Ubume as gods. Then the house of Takabe prospered all the more.
I'm guessing the murder of the rokubu is the version told outside the Takabe family. What do they say within the family?
The Kamadoi is a personal and insular ritual for the Takabe family to begin with. And yet they make all the other houses in Sumeri village fast for the entire duration of the ritual.
Is that why you were against Mayuko being the medium?
That's part of it. But there's also the fact that the Takabe want Mayuko to marry into their family. And rumor has it that they all do some kind of disgusting thing altogether. Probably just a practical joke at worst.
Damn it! They just had their way with me and left. They rubbed my boobs. And one even touched me down there. Don't they have any respect for people's bodies? I knew I should have turned this down. Should I leave right now? I'll leave first thing tomorrow. Oh, but wait. My clothes and boots are at the Takabe house. What do I do? I can hear the snow piling up.
Go to sleep. If you wake up, I'll pound you a rice cake.
I can definitely hear it. Someone's pulling a prank on me, just like earlier today. I swear, they're just teasing me. Who is it? Nope. Okay, this is a really nasty prank. I'm definitely quitting. I'll leave first thing tomorrow and go right back home. The next morning, the Hermitage was completely buried in the snow. The snow was packed all the way to the snow shed in the entryway. Now I can't get out. What about the snow shed by the back door? Although, I'd rather not go that way. They're digging up the snow outside.
This may be a fool's errand. Mr. Takabe won't let us near the Hermitage.
I only need to talk with him. I believe your father said that the Takabe family has a different version of the story.
Yeah, I've heard it. One of my classmates in middle school was from a branch of the Takabe. And according to them, the god Otoshi was on a journey. He asked for a place to stay in Shimokawa, but they refused him. He asked in Omori, but they refused him. But when he went to Sumeri, he was welcomed into the Takabe home. The god Otoshi was delighted and blessed Takabe. A child was born as radiant as a jewel, and the Takabe family has prospered ever since.
I see. That's a myth of welcoming a visiting god, of the Fujisukaba type. This sounds like it's closer to the prototype than the story about killing the Rokubu. You said that a child was born. Whose child was it?
I don't really remember. But I seem to remember hearing that Takabe's daughter suddenly went into labor and gave birth to a child. And it was worshipped as a god.
I feel really heavy.
Are you sure this is the right way, Sano? I'm not getting stranded in a place like this.
It should be near the Takabe house. I came a different way so we wouldn't be seen.
Ah, is that it?
Yes! The Hermitage is the only house in Sumeri with a thatched roof. That has to be it.
I don't think it's a good idea to enter the Hermitage without permission.
It'll be fine as long as we're quiet. No one's in there but Mayuko anyway.
What's wrong?
What the heck is that? That's a little elaborate for a costume.
Sano, hide! We have come to the wrong place.
The wrong place? You mean this isn't the Takabe's Hermitage?
I don't know, but I've got a feeling that we're not supposed to go in there.
But I have to save Mayuko! No! That's not Mayuko!
We'd better leave.
Kamudoi is a very important ritual to the Takabe family. I'm afraid I can't allow even a university professor to approach the Hermitage without permission.
So that was the Hermitage after all? But Sano said there was a different girl inside it.
A different girl. Whoever it wasn't Mayuko. And what was that monster?
Monster? Not Mayuko. You mean the return of Otoshi happened?
What is the return of Otoshi?
It is a Takabe family secret. I cannot tell you.
But if that girl wasn't Mayuko, that means that Mayuko is missing. We may have to report her to the police.
Absolutely not. Mayuko is the only one inside the Hermitage. What you saw was merely an illusion of the past.
Of the past? So you're saying that was something that actually happened in the past?
I had the scariest dream. The room's pitch black. How long was I asleep? Is there something in the other room? What is that? Ubume? How far back does this snow shed go?
Mr. Shoemon, there's something you need to see.
Sounds like something's happened in the Hermitage. Well, we managed to slip out, but it Doesn't seem like they'll let us inside the Hermitage.
What do you suppose the return of Otoshi is?
There's a cycle to the yields of the land and the activity of the village. And New Year's Day is a time to replenish the energy for the year. If there was an important event on this day that is symbolic of that process, they may be trying to recreate that event. Based on the name Kamudoi, I can assume it's a ritual that imitates the visit of a god. So they recreate the time long ago that a god visited their ancestors and blessed them for the purpose of summoning that energy once more.
So, you think that monster will come back?
It's only a ritual. They only perform a recreation with disguises and such.
Mr. Shoemon, something definitely seems strange here. The Ubume seem to have left the snow shed and gone back inside their Hermitage from the outside.
What about Mayuko?
I don't know. She might not even be inside.
This is the mountain behind the Takabe house, where the shrine to the Ubume is. It's the Ubume shrine. Is this where the Ubume came from?
Let's go in through there.
Hey!
Be careful you don't step through the floor. There's something in the attic. Whoa! Watch out!
What was that? The Kamiko!
Mr. Takabe, this was hidden in the attic. Is that the child of the first showman's daughter?
That's right. Kinu had intercourse with the god Otoshi, and gave birth to his child. Kinu left for the land of the gods, but she returned as an Ubume so her child could suckle. Because of that, the first Shoemon's fields produced an abundant harvest, and the family flourished. The Ubume brought with her the overflowing power of fertility from the land of the gods. And yet, the child died. The second Shoemon hid the child and kept on summoning the Ubume, and to that end, he ritualized the holy matrimony of the god Otoshi and his daughter. Of course, after hundreds of years, the Ubume stopped coming. But on the year of the return of Otoshi, like this year, she must return. Then Sumeri and the House of Takabe will flourish like we once did.
It's alive?
It can't be! That's a mummified baby that died centuries ago!
It's going back.
smokes!
The Hermitage is collapsing from the weight of the snow!
Mayuko!
Sano!
The Ubume departed amidst the sudden blizzard and left through the shrine to the land of the gods. Or perhaps they'd vanished deep into the snowy mountains. In any case, the Ubume never came to Sumeri village again.
Nope.